All right, so let's talk about something interesting. Because I'm seeing more and more of these, I don't know what to call them really, suggestions on how to use AI in sales. There was a Reddit thread, there was a Reddit thread not too long ago where somebody asked, hey, what's the best way to use AI in sales? And the question itself is already flawed. And the reason why that question is flawed is, well, it should be obvious. There is no best way to use AI in sales other than tossing it out the window. See, one of the curious responses to that question was, aside from some troll comments, somebody said something along the lines of, hey, I use AI to make mock images of my colleagues and we're all having fun with them. That's good. You can do that during your lunch break, maybe. But somebody wrote, like in all seriousness, I use it to prepare myself for practicing a hard conversation. I will enter my points. I will then let AI. I will then let AI push back against those points, and we're gonna have this sparring match where I'm getting better and I'm asking AI to push myself. Now, that idea might sound good on paper, indeed, because you're asking AI to push back on your ideas. But AI can only scan through the interweb, scan through the web, scan through all its databases, and then come up with information, come up with arguments and objections and statements and comments made by people who are being sold to, and then reiterate and regurgitate them over and over again. Maybe you'll catch some interesting talking points, but in general, if somebody has made up their mind that they're not going to buy whatever you're selling, you can't talk your way into selling to them again. It's going to be very, very difficult, as opposed to finding someone who really wants what you're selling in the first place. And that's where the old school copywriting wisdom from Gary Halbert comes in, with the hamburger stand and the starving crowd. So back in the day, for those who don't know, Gary Halbert was this world-class copywriter way back in the day. And yeah, he did some controversial choices. He made some controversial choices, He also said some controversial things. But one of the things he said, to illustrate a point, was very, 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 very particular and very, very interesting back then, and it's certainly very, very particular and very, very interesting now. So the idea was, if you and I are going to compete against each other, we're going to have a hamburger stand each, and we're going to compete and see who can sell the most hamburgers. Both of us, you and I, get to have one advantage over the other. And so Gary Halbert suggested that, well, most people would pick the advantage of having the best hamburger meat, the bigger buns, the most selection of, or the biggest selection of cheese, maybe the best pork so that they could make the most excellent bacon. I don't really know. Fine-tuning the burgers, having the best location, etc., etc. Well, Gary Halbert wanted none of that. His one advantage was, I want a starving crowd. Because a starving crowd, hungry people, want to buy our hamburgers no matter what. You can sell crap burgers from McDonald's and Burger King, which doesn't taste anything else but, dry paper, and people would still buy them if they were hungry. And so that's the point. And so the entire idea is, if you're using AI to improve your sales scripts, you're really just fine-tuning the hamburgers. You're not looking for the hungry crowd. If I sell toilet paper, I want to sell toilet paper to people who need to take a crap because they need to wipe their arses. That's what toilet paper is for. And I don't need to fine-tune the toilet paper in any regard other than saying, hey, you guys get 50 rolls for $20. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Maybe if I say, oh, this toilet paper is extra soft and, you're not going to scratch and scratch up your skin and bleed when you're cleaning yourself down there. All right, this is getting a little bit gross, but hopefully you understand my point. If you fine tune the hamburgers, you really just pick on the details, but you need to pick on the market first. Find the hungry crowd. Find your proverbial hungry crowd first, and then take it from there. If you want to learn more about sales and persuasion, then get subscribed to my publisher list. The link to do so is below the episode description wherever you're watching and listening to this, and I'll see you there.